Hello, and welcome back to Devlog. I am so excited to be back. In this series, we are developing payroll software from scratch. And in this episode, we're working on a new modal view for pay statements, improving the user experience with some menu tweaks, and setting up the admin control center. Can I get a woo? It's a busy episode, so let's get right into it.
Bro, let's get straight to it. On my mama, we lit.
Alright, so right now the user can only see the gross and net amounts for each pay statement, but we want to show them all the small details that make up their statement. To do this, we can open up a modal and display additional info there. We can add an on-click event to the row element, and we can see that clicking on rows prints out their dates. We're on the right track. We'll need to stop propagation on the row action button to prevent clicks from activating both the row and the action button. See, now we can click on the row or the kebab button. Very nice. Now we'll need to actually display a modal, so let's yoink one from Flowbyte. And there we have it. It looks pretty good. Let's touch it up now so it matches our theme and add a transition so it fades in and out. We'll use a ref to allow clicking out of the modal and simple tailwind for the transition. Nice, there we go, looking pretty good. For this episode, that's about it for the modal. We'll add lots more to it later, but for now, that's good enough. Let's push these changes up and move on to the next ticket. With the previous ticket, we set up some logic to allow the user to click or escape off of the modal. In this ticket, we'll use that logic on all of our menus to make the user experience a little smoother. For example, this profile menu doesn't support using the escape key to close it. To fix that, we just need to update the event listeners to include one for the escape key. Simple as that, we can now click and escape all day long. Next up, the table filter button, which doesn't support clicking either, but I just copy pasted that use effect we saw earlier, and voila, perfect interactability, if that's a word. Listen.
Let me tell you something.
I know I should make a reusable menu component instead of duplicating this logic around, but that's some off-camera work, it's for later. To set up the table actions menu, we'll duplicate the filter component and get rid of basically all of its logic. All we need is the menu. And there we have it, another menu perfected. Some familiar code here. I've added the same ref and transition logic to the row actions menu, and they behave much better now. Some may even say it's smooth as butter. Although this was a quick ticket, I think it improved the user experience quite a bit, at least for me. So let's push up these changes and move on to our third ticket. Displaying a filter count. Right now, it's not clear that filters have been applied to the table, so if you forget about your filters, the table might be very confusing. Therefore, let's yoink this little cute indicator from Flowbyte and display the number of active filters on the button. Let's go, that looks good, but we'll need to hide it if it's 0, which is a quick fix. Now let's test it out with some more options by editing the pay statements types in our database. We now have 3 types and the indicator works as expected. I think it looks great and negates a lot of potential confusion. Awesome sauce. Let's push up these changes and move on to drumroll please. The admin control center. Alright, this will be a separate repo, so let's duplicate the project and get that set up. Alright, so we got the app working. Now we need to basically delete all of it for a fresh start. Beautiful, a clean slate, so many possibilities. That's about it for this ticket, just setting up a new project, but next up we'll start working on a simple layout for the control center. Take a look at this.
Hey y'all, come look at this.
Someone take a look at this from Flowbyte. It's clean, simple to use, and a good starting point for our admin view. Let's copy it over, and boom, look at that, got it working. The code, however, is an absolute mess, so I went through and got rid of everything that we don't immediately need. All the drop-down menus, the accordions, the buttons, gone, at least for now. I also made the top and sidebars into their own components, and the code ended up pretty clean. Along with some styling tweaks, this is the final result. We got the facade up, but we'll need to dig in and work on the actual functionality in later episodes. But it feels good to have the admin view going. Look at us making progress, one ticket at a time. Alright, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Devlog. We were all over the place improving the user experience and getting the admin view started. I hope you enjoyed this episode and maybe learned something along the way. Make sure to subscribe to follow along and see where this project goes. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.